Morning, everybody. A lovely day here. This is the breakfast table.
De droga y alcohol. Cuando está consciente, está rompiendo toda la habitación y bueno, necesitamos que manden a alguien, por favor.
Bajo efectos de alcohol y estupefaciente, ¿no, señor?
Raj, thank you so much for joining me today. The toxicology tests have revealed that Liam had traces of cocaine, benzo, crack cocaine, and pink.
The news is hard to believe, and even tougher to accept. Liam Payne is no longer with us. For fans of One Direction, it's a devastating blow to lose such a talent, especially one as beloved and pivotal as Liam. But while their paths diverged years ago, the brotherhood among One Direction members has remained. As the world mourns Liam, Harry Styles has stepped up, finally breaking his silence on what really went down, and the support they shared even after the band split. Despite the years and distance, the strength of their bond is undeniable, and Harry's words reveal just how deep that connection runs. Just days ago, the world was rocked by the tragic news that Liam Payne had passed away after a fall from the hotel he was staying at. Fans are heartbroken, but it's the members of One Direction who feel the loss the most deeply. In the wake of the tragedy, questions and speculations have emerged, and Harry Styles himself has now come forward to share his thoughts on the passing of his former bandmate. Speaking out for the first time, the Watermelon Sugar star expressed his grief, opening up about the bond the band shared and hinting at just how much this sudden loss has shaken them all. He took to his IG and wrote, "I am truly devastated by Liam's passing. His greatest joy was making other people happy, and it was an honor to be alongside him as he did it. Liam lived wide open, with his heart on his sleeve. He had an energy for life that was infectious. He was warm, supportive, and incredibly loving. The years we spent together will forever remain among the most cherished years of my life. I will miss him always, my lovely friend. My heart breaks for Karen, Jeff, Nicola, and Ruth, his son Bear, and all those around the world who knew and loved him as I did." Zayn Malik also shared a heartbreaking tribute, writing, "I lost a brother when you left us, and can't explain to you what I'd give to just give you a hug one last time and say goodbye to you properly, and tell you that I loved and respected you dearly. I will cherish all the memories I have with you in my heart forever. There is no words that justify or explain how I feel right now, other than beyond devastated." Harry Styles isn't just mourning, he's on a mission. You see, after the devastating news of Liam Payne's passing, fans around the world were left shocked, questioning how this tragedy could happen to someone so full of life. But Harry seems to be the first of the group to openly voice what a lot of people are feeling, that something just doesn't add up. In close circles, whispers say that Harry's digging deeper, refusing to accept the official story without question. He's even reaching out to some powerful connections, determined to uncover what might really be going on. Could Harry be hinting at secrets no one ever saw coming? Or is he simply unwilling to let his friend's legacy be reduced to a tragic headline? Either way, fans are holding their breath as Harry follows this new path to uncover the truth, refusing to let Liam's story fade away without answers.
Travel with us to Argentina. I shopped so last minute for this trip, so we literally packed an hour before our flight. It was hectic. We got into the Uber and Liam was making some beats on our way. We got to the airport pretty early. That's a first. And of course, I'm not carrying any bags. That is a man's job.
First things first. Liam Payne was in Argentina to reconnect with his former bandmate, Niall Horan, who was touring in Buenos Aires. The two hadn't spoken in a while, and by Liam's own words on Snapchat, they had a lot to talk about. He posted, "No bad vibes or anything like that, but we need to talk." Fans were thrilled to see Liam and Niall back together, catching up after all these years since One Direction split. Liam even shared videos from Niall's concert, where he and his girlfriend Kate Cassidy were spotted singing and dancing along to the music, seemingly without a care in the world. Fans who saw Liam during those final days describe him as upbeat and lively. A fan, Noella Varan, who met him just before the concert, mentioned that he was in good spirits, laughing, joking, and full of energy. She made it clear he wasn't intoxicated or under the influence, as rumors later suggested. Instead, he was waving, dancing, and cheering as if everything was perfectly fine. Liam also spent time visiting a friend's house in Argentina in the days leading up to his tragic fall on October 16th. By then, however, Cassidy had left the country.
Travel from South America back to Florida with me. I was so ready to leave. Honestly, loved South America, but I hate staying in one place for too long. And we were supposed to be there for like 5 days, turned into 2 weeks, and I was just like, I need to go home. Of course, my seat was 1D. I feel like this happens every single time I fly. I also get such anxiety before flying, so I broke out in this weird rash. I obviously ate a bunch of sweets at the lounge. They had no food options, so I was like, okay, ice cream and cookies it is. I didn't know what to...
So what really happened in those final hours? Liam's sudden and mysterious death has left fans and friends reeling, raising questions about what truly went down in those last moments. Listen, just like Cassidy, Liam was also documenting the whole trip, but interestingly, none of his snaps are from the hotel he fell to his death from. Bizarre, right? According to BBC, a call was made to emergency services around 1700 local time, 2100 British Standard Time, by hotel staff, with requests to respond to a hotel guest who is overwhelmed by substance and alcohol and destroying his room. I don't know if the guest's life is in danger, but he has a room with a balcony, and we're a little afraid that he might do something life-threatening. Payne's room was on the 3rd floor and had a balcony about 14 meters, 45 foot, above an interior courtyard. It is thought he fell from the balcony about 1707 local time. Police arrived minutes later. Hotel staff told them a loud sound had been heard in the courtyard where Payne's body was discovered. He was pronounced dead at the scene, with the emergency services saying that there had been no possibility of resuscitation. No matter how you think about it, why Liam did not film his stay at the luxurious hotel? Anyway, soon, the Sistema de Atencio Medica de Emergencia shared the following statement with Telemundo, part of NBC Universal after Payne's death. British musician Liam James Payne, composer and guitarist, former member of the band One Direction, died today after falling from the 3rd floor of a hotel in Palmero. In the afternoon, police personnel from Precinct 14B were directed to the hotel by a 911 call reporting an aggressive man who could be under the influence of substance or alcohol. The heartbreaking death of Liam Payne has sent shockwaves through fans worldwide, and with new autopsy details shedding light on his final moments, the story just doesn't seem to add up. According to the Argentina National Prosecutor's Office, Payne's tragic fall from a 3rd-floor balcony led to polytrauma and internal and external bleeding. But here's where things take a darker twist. Not only were there over 25 traumatic injuries noted, specific brain and skull wounds severe enough to have been fatal on their own, but the report also revealed defensive wounds on his hands. After forensic experts analyzed the singer's hands, they claimed all the injuries on the body were vital and produced at the same time, and that no injuries were observed that could suggest the intervention of third parties. Not only that, they claimed that the position of Payne's body suggested that he did not adopt a reflexive posture to protect himself, and that he could have fallen in a state of semi or total unconsciousness. And while authorities discovered a series of substances in his room, implying recent alcohol and substance use, fans who followed his journey are suspicious. Payne had previously opened up about overcoming his struggles, and by all appearances, he was on a steady path forward. The idea of a sudden breakdown just doesn't align with how he's been presenting himself lately. Not only that, forensic death investigator Joseph Scott Morgan also believes the same.
Altitude, 45 feet. But what I am saying is that most people are not going to walk away from that, let alone stand up and then create other injuries.
So, was this really an unfortunate relapse? Or could something else have been at play that night? Fans believe there's more beneath the surface, hinting at foul play that would shake even the strongest hearts among his supporters. As more pieces of the story unfold, one thing is clear. Those who loved and supported Liam won't stop pushing for answers.
Raj, thank you so much for joining me today. The toxicology tests have revealed that Liam had traces of cocaine, benzo, crack, and pink.
Right now, there is still hope to find what really happened to Liam because Payne's death is being treated as suspicious by prosecutors, which means more needs to be established about what happened before his death and who he was in contact with. Numerous statements were also taken to reconstruct the victim's final hours and the scene of events, a process that is still ongoing with hotel workers, acquaintances, technical and medical professionals, and other people linked to the victim through their work. What's even more strange is that Maya Henry, Liam Payne's former fiancée, has shared that just days before his tragic passing, the late singer reached out to her with dark, haunting thoughts about his life. But despite his pleas for help, Henry claims she dismissed his messages, believing they were simply part of his manipulation tactics to gain sympathy. The pair, who dated from 2018 until their split in 2022, shared a turbulent history, and it appears that even after their breakup, Payne continued to reach out to her during his low moments. As she recounts these conversations now, the weight of her decision not to respond seems heavier than ever. Fans are left wondering, could Henry's support in those final days have changed the outcome, or was Payne's spiral too deep to be stopped? In an interview with Internet is Dead podcast, she said, "He would always message me ever since we broke up saying, 'Oh, I'm not well.' He would always play with death and be like, 'Well, I'm going to die. I'm not doing well.' There was this one time I tried to get him help, and then he was not taking it. He would text my mom, 'I'm not doing well. Have Maya contact me,' because I wouldn't respond. It's just always the same cycle. I don't play with death. If you say this, I'm going to try and help you no matter what you've done. I think he took advantage of my family's kindness." The much-anticipated release of Liam Payne's final track, Do No Wrong, has been postponed, and fans everywhere are showing support for the heartfelt decision. North Carolina singer Sam Pounds, Payne's collaborator on the track, announced the delay, explaining that it's not the time yet. Pounds shared that he wanted to allow Payne's family to mourn without the pressure of public attention surrounding the song's release, stating that we all still need time to grieve. In a touching gesture, he also noted that proceeds from the song would ultimately go to a charity of Payne's family's choosing, honoring Liam's legacy in a meaningful way. Fans moved by Pounds' sensitivity took to social media to thank him for his compassion. Comments like, "There will be a right time for it in the future, but for now we mourn," poured in, with others echoing the sentiment that this decision was the right choice. The delay has only amplified the emotional anticipation, and fans and loved ones hold on to Payne's memory, awaiting a time when Do No Wrong can be released in a way that celebrates his life and artistry. Payne was a member of One Direction from its inception on the TV competition show The X Factor in 2010. The group appeared to get along from the get-go, as its first 4 albums debuted at number 1, and songs like What Makes You Beautiful and Story of My Life became big hits. But behind the scenes, Payne and his bandmates had their share of disagreements before and after One Direction disbanded in 2016. I think people have a misconception that we were all just massive mates and whatever else. It's not the case, but there's no bad blood between anyone. Of all the One Direction bandmates, Liam Payne and Louis Tomlinson had one of the most intense and surprising friendships. Payne, originally from Wolverhampton, and Tomlinson didn't exactly hit it off in the early days of the band. In fact, it was downright rocky. Payne once admitted to ET Canada that they, come to blows, hated each other when One Direction first formed, with Tomlinson's wild spirit often clashing with Payne's more reserved nature. The tension between them wasn't just minor. By Liam's own words, it got close to real confrontation. But as the years went by, what started as friction transformed into something deeper. By 2021, Payne reflected on their journey, telling fans that despite those early fights, he and Louis had grown into the best of friends within the band. The evolution of their friendship became something Payne could appreciate saying, "Even in those moments of angst, it breeds a connection between you both." After the band went on indefinite hiatus in 2016, Tomlinson experienced a pair of personal tragedies. His mother, Johanna, died from leukemia in 2016, while his younger sister, Felicity, died of an accidental overdose in March 2019. He discussed his family in the 2023 documentary, All of Those Voices, about his life and career. However, Payne couldn't really be there for Tomlinson since he was reeling from the loss of their band.
We've nearly been out of the band as long as we were in it, which is a weird thing to think about, because it was like, at one point it was your whole life, and now obviously, I'm out doing my own thing. But yeah, I definitely miss it.
Payne attended the premiere and promised to try and make amends to Tomlinson after not being there for his friend amid his own health struggles. "I'm so thankful to have you in my life, mate. I feel so lucky, and I know you know this, but you were a part of a small group of people that literally saved my life. You dragged me out of something so dark, I've never shared it." In a shocking twist of events, reports have emerged that Liam Payne had filed papers to resign as the director of all 4 of his companies just hours before his tragic passing. According to the documents obtained from Companies House, the highly acclaimed musician appeared to be on the verge of ending his solo music career, a move that adds another layer of mystery to his untimely death. As detailed by Times Now, Payne had established 4 companies: Hampton Music Limited, Hampton Records Limited, Long Play Touring LLP, and Hampton Publishing Limited, to manage his income from live shows and recordings. But the financial state of these companies tells a different story. In 2023, Hampton Music Limited was valued at just €17,300. while Hampton Records Limited saw a staggering drop from €300,000 in 2022 to less than €75,000. The situation was dire for long-play touring LLP as well, plummeting from €135,000 to a mere €17,000 in the same year. And Hampton Publishing Limited was hanging by a thread valued at just €729. This sudden resignation raises eyebrows and questions about what Payne might have been facing in his personal and professional life leading up to his death. What could have prompted such a drastic decision, and what does it mean for the legacy he leaves behind? Fans and insiders are left reeling, searching for answers in the wake of this tragedy. Sadly, things were not working out for Liam when it came to his career. It just came out that Payne's PR had even resigned in October, leaving him without any representatives. For those who do not know, this was just another shock for the artist, as it happened following his former fiancée, Maya Henry, taking legal action against him. Sources close to Liam Payne have revealed a troubling reality behind the scenes of the star's life leading up to his tragic passing. Despite facing significant mental health struggles, his manager reportedly pressured him into participating in the Netflix show Building the Band, which features Nicole Scherzinger and Kelly Rowland. This decision came shortly after Payne completed rehab, raising alarm bells among those who truly cared for him. An insider shared with Page Six his manager pushed him to do the show, and there were a lot of worried texts exchanged between us. We were shocked. There was no way he was in any shape to do this. The source went on to explain that Liam had become increasingly isolated in the months leading up to the show, distancing himself from the supportive friends and family who had been trying to help him through his struggles. This revelation paints a heartbreaking picture of a young man grappling with his demons while being thrust back into the spotlight before he was ready. It raises serious questions about the pressures artists face in the industry, especially when their mental well-being is at stake. How much longer could Liam have endured this relentless push into projects while battling his inner turmoil? Fans are left to wonder about the toll it took on his health and what could have been done differently to protect him. At this point, it's pretty clear that nothing was going right in Liam's life. While the circumstances surrounding his tragic death have raised numerous questions, the 25 haunting injuries found on his body are fueling rampant speculation about foul play. Many fans and insiders can't shake the feeling that there's more to this story than what meets the eye. That's all for today. We hope you liked that video, and if you did, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this.